Okay, so welcome to the April wrap-up. First up, Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I actually saw the movie first, so I knew a bit about the structure and different storylines. So in this one, the concept is that we follow characters from different eras that are linked together physically by a birthmark and through various devices like a piece of music or an object like the journal that is written in the first storyline. This was a 4-star for me. My preferred character / story is the musician Robert Frobisher, so it was perhaps the one that tied the stories together the most because he finds the journal first and he writes the piece of music that we later will be found and used in the investigation. Also the letter style was nicely executed, so it was perhaps a little more descriptive, but I felt Stranger Things moving faster and in a more interesting way than in the interview part later in the book, for example. Least favorite was the dystopian one, the one played by Tom Hanks in the movie. It was a bit hard to read and follow as some sentences and words don't really make a lot of sense because he's inventing a lot of them and we don't really have the background to fully get everything. So yeah, all in all, I guess it was intended, and so it's a good book. Next up, we have The Alchemist, which is a nice tale, reminiscing me in style and substance in the Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry, so French classic. So it's rather simple and sweet. We follow Santiago, a shepherd, who is told he will find a treasure in Egypt near the pyramids, and what follows is his journey and encounters leading to his questioning fate, dreams, and destiny. It has touching moments and like quotes for Instagram inspiration. Like my preferred one was, "It is precisely the possibility of realizing a dream that makes life interesting." So I rated this one 3 stars. Next up, we have The Scarlet Letter by Natalie Hawthorne. So this will be quick because this was my least favorite book of the month. It was a 1-star read, so absolutely boring and without any payoff for all of this slow burn. So at least the last quarter was interesting, but just not worth all the build up, and perhaps the most interesting part is the short story at the beginning. Next up, another good one is Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. So it's really enlightening on the India and Pakistan relationships. So it was confusing at first because I thought that it was the book that initiated the fatwa against Rushdie, but it turns out it wasn't this one. And so for the first half of the book, I was really paying attention to like any religious and political comments, because I only had glanced at the back of the book because I had a recent spoiled trauma, so I didn't want to get spoiled again. So I only saw the word fatwa and then I checked, and this wasn't in fact the book, so it was the satanic verses that makes a little more sense. In this one, we follow a man through his youth and a good chunk of his life, and he's born on midnight on the day of India independence as a bunch of other children, hence title, and some of them get powers, and our hero is sort of a mentalist. He can hear thoughts of others and manipulate them, and use that. And so he uses this power at his advantage, so to chronicle India's politics, like through the end of the English, let's say, occupation, and so the inner politic turmoil. So it's beautifully written, very witty, very funny, and the characters are well fleshed out, and like most of them are larger than life and have some sort of fantasy elements to them, but you have to accept it. So like you have gods personified, magic, superpowers, jumps like in time, and so you have to accept that some facts perhaps are not like entirely true. So I don't know enough to say all the events told are like true in the right order, but yeah, in the general gist of it, I would say, is quite true, and it's also a good way to freshen up on history. Next up, we have If on a Winter's Night, A Traveler by Italo Calvino. I won't say too much about this one because I made an in-depth review, so check this one out for my thoughts. So the quick little premise is that you are the reader trying to read the book, but you get interrupted and you embark on a journey through 10 other stories. And so in the review, I talk a bit about the discussion of the birth of the book and the inspiration for it, and so like the theories behind. Next up, we have The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. So it's quite a hard read. I don't think you can read it and understand it without the notes. Like, it was written almost 1,000 years ago, so all events, characters, the references, they're quite lost or unknown at least. So like, you do need to go back and forth a good chunk, because these are the notes and this is the book. And I doubt like anyone outside scholars will know like about the Florence families and what they imply when you say, oh, you're such a X or Y. So yeah, I think the notes are mandatory, so almost 800 pages of them in my edition. So yeah, you do have to go back and forth quite a lot to understand what you are saying. My advice, so at first I was reading note by note, but it was just getting like too choppy because you have multiple references on each page. So I then went to a couple pages at a time, unless the note was really important to like get immediate context. But like for this third book, I read the full text first and then the notes, and I would eventually come back to the text if I still didn't get it. So this is organized in 3 books, and each book is composed of a multitude of, we will say, songs. So all songs are mostly composed of triplets, so this means 3 lines. So I don't know a lot about religion, so a lot of things weren't above my head, but it was a nice change of style. And yeah, it's a bit sad that I didn't get a lot because it's quite steeped in history, so it's hard with the previous knowledge to fully appreciate what's going on. But yeah, the writing is full of the images and allegories and some very nice ones. And yeah, the only sad thing to me is the translation. That it's not the best one out there, maybe. So I think it's perhaps the best effort, but it's still far away from the original rhythm. And when you look at some of the original text provided, even without speaking Italian, so you can see the flow is really different, and like the rhyming schemes almost all lost. The last book is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So it was okay. It didn't really touch me or resonate with me much. And it's the second Jane Austen book that I read this year, and I'm still not sure if I like it too much. So they seem to be about the same topics, like getting a big countryside house, finding a good husband, being deceived by men, problems of youth, love, and yeah, I don't know. It was only okay, so not really touching. And I guess this was an audiobook, so I tend to rate them harsher because it's harder to judge the style just by hearing it. So perhaps this will need a reread if I like stick to the other Austen's book. So that's it for this month. Thanks for staying with me. Take care and happy reads.